Now on Coast TV News.
Marijuana in Georgetown. The discussions held by Town Council tonight.
A fallen officer memorial damaged in Georgetown. What the town says happened. More than $7 million for the Chesapeake Bay watershed, how it aims to support wildlife conservation, and more. Pony problems turn solutions. What saltwater cowboys addressed in the Chincoteague Wildlife Refuge.
The boardwalk is clear, but the work still a bit brisk. But a warm-up during the work week is what's in the cards for us pretty soon. We'll deal.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Deciding what to do with marijuana in Georgetown. Good evening, I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our news at 11. We begin tonight with another town figuring out what to do with the recently legalized drug. Georgetown Town Council took the first steps towards potentially regulating recreational marijuana businesses. Coast TV News reporter Charles Reinert breaks down how the county seat may handle pot.
Sparking up the discussions on weed in Georgetown. Georgetown Town Council reviewed a possible ordinance that would regulate recreational pot. The discussions revolved around seeing how rules would work.
It's going to be a federal law that marijuana is going to be acceptable. Why not get ahead of it by putting some rules and regulations that we know we can control?
The ordinance would only allow there to be 2 marijuana dispensaries in town limits, and only 1 cultivation center, 1 manufacturing center, and 1 testing center. The ordinance would also not allow drive-thrus at dispensaries or outdoor seating. While no specific benefits were outlined, town manager Gene Dvornik says marijuana businesses in Georgetown are a possibility.
Well, I'm not sure there's an answer that'll make everybody happy, but I think, part of it with everything is change is inevitable. So, embrace it, see what is available, and certainly if you've got an opinion one way or the other, we see that on a lot of our zoning things, is share your opinions.
The majority of council members were wary of allowing marijuana businesses in the county seat. Dvornik says towns have until this coming summer to make a decision on if they want to allow marijuana businesses or send them to greener pastures.
There was no vote tonight. Dvornik says that if something like this were to be passed, it would have to go through the town's planning commission and go back to the town council again before anything can be finalized. I'm Charles Reiner in Georgetown, Coast TV News.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know if you think Georgetown should ban weed. Let's take a look at the results here. Looking at the screen, these are updated from earlier tonight. 56%, the majority now, say allow it. 43% say they should ban it. Still 1% for undecided. If you haven't voted yet, you still can at coasttvnews.com or on our mobile app. Staying in Georgetown, where a memorial to a fallen officer appears to have been knocked over. This is the Chad Spicer Memorial that rests in the Georgetown Circle. You can see it laying on its side in this video. Town manager Gene Dvornik confirmed to Coast TV News tonight that the monument was hit by a car. Town Council discussed in their meeting tonight the need to address safety concerns for traffic in the Georgetown Circle. New tonight, a crash in Dagsboro caused traffic delays earlier this evening. Delaware State Police tweeted just before 9 p.m. that Route 113 southbound south of 9-Foot Road in Dagsboro was closed. The agency confirmed to Coast TV News tonight that a truck carrying chicken waste had overturned. No word yet on any injuries or what caused that crash. And now let's take a live look outside to check on the weather. That is our Hershey Exteriors camera at the 45th Street Tap House in Ocean City. It's pretty cold out there tonight, so let's check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams, who joins us now with a look at our forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mallory. And listen, that cold feel outside, that's everybody's point of view, believe it or not, because, we're holding at about 42 degrees and the winds are calm right now, pushing on to the north. However, just the slightest of breeze will change how you feel outside. And fortunately, we've had some winds out of the south recently for today, so that helped take a little bit of the edge or the cutting edge off of it. But we're looking for temperatures to stay in the 40s for the rest of the night, even though we're expecting mainly clear skies. We will see increasing cloud cover throughout this week and increasing temperatures. before we get to the rain, actually. But look at how we ended up today. We ended up with a low of 28 degrees today, which is only 7 away from tying the record low of 21. That record was set in 1996, 54 for the high today. Here's a look at what's happening with our latest radar and satellite depiction. Everything's all clear for right now, but we want to keep a close eye on this cold front coming in from the west along with this trough. That's what we'll talk about in more detail coming up in your full forecast. Until then, back to you, Mallory.
Thank you, Paul. New at 11, $7.4 million is going towards restoring and protecting habitats in the Chesapeake Bay watershed. The announcement coming from Maryland's congressional lawmakers, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation today. 25 grants, including more than $1,392,000 for 9 projects in Maryland. Among other goals, the projects focus on improving water quality, sustaining the health of the watershed, and its inhabitants in the future. New at 11, the Worcester County Sheriff's Office says it is investigating a school fight that happened at Pocomoke High School this morning. The agency says EMS transported 1 student for treatment. Taking a live look at the Israel-Gaza border now as power, fuel, and supplies run out at Al-Shifa, Gaza's largest hospital. Patients, including newborn babies, are dying. Israel says Hamas hides a headquarters under the hospital. Hamas denies it, and hospital workers say the complex only houses the gravely wounded and civilians with nowhere else to go. NBC's Alice Barr explains, and we do want to warn our viewers, some of the images we are about to show you are graphic and difficult to watch.
A new level of desperation in the Gaza Strip as the World Health Organization says the enclave's largest hospital, Al-Shifa, is no longer functioning. Searing images show what's at stake. More than 30 premature babies taken out of their incubators, wrapped for warmth as the power fails. Doctors say 3 died over the weekend.
They're all in life danger because they do not have the heat, the humidity, and the oxygen they need.
Dr. Mads Gilbert speaking to us from Cairo, the Norwegian doctor who worked for decades in hospitals in Gaza, now in direct contact with colleagues inside Al-Shifa, where remaining medical workers do what they can by flashlight amid intense fighting outside the complex. NBC's Kristen Welker pressed Israel's prime minister on the steep civilian toll.
Every civilian death, every dead baby is a tragedy, but that tragedy should be placed squarely at the responsibility of Hamas, that is keeping its military installations inside hospitals.
The Israeli government maintains Hamas hides a command center under Al-Shifa hospital. Hamas denies it.
It's public, in the public domain, that this is a tactic by Hamas. They do headquarter themselves in places of civilian infrastructure.
President Biden today sending a clear message.
The hospital must be protected.
Israel says it is trying to evacuate patients, though giving few details, releasing images of Israeli soldiers leaving fuel for generators, but only 80 gallons, enough for half an hour, according to hospital staff. Meanwhile, the Israeli prime minister offering hope there could be a deal to free hostages taken by Hamas in its brutal terror attack, as the White House reveals that one American hostage is just 3 years old. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Amid intensifying demonstrations on both sides of the conflict across the country and around the world, U.S.-based Jewish groups are preparing for a march for Israel tomorrow on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. That is expected to draw tens of thousands of people. Here's a look now at some of the things happening today across Delmarva. No one wants to get into an accident or suffer some sort of emergency, but it does happen. And to that end, the DMV is encouraging people to get medical indicators on their driver's licenses and ID cards. These indicators are free, voluntary, and they allow you to list important medical issues that may be helpful for emergency responders. United Airlines and Delaware State University are partnering up for Del State's aviation program. This partnership will help create a pathway to becoming pilots for United. An unofficial statement is scheduled for this Thursday, November 16th at 9 a.m. on campus at the Longwood Auditorium. DSU currently has 110 professional pilot students and 47 aviation management majors. They also have 6 helicopter training students. Improvements in Chincoteague. Saltwater Cowboys report they fixed fencing in the refuge. A broken fence led to Riptide the Stallion and his mares making their way into public parts of the wildlife refuge. Buyback foals have also been taken to the carnival grounds for the winter for weaning. New at 11, a family in Queen Anne's County was displaced by a house fire this morning. You can't see a lot of damage in this photo here, but the Maryland State Fire Marshal says it happened on Graysonville Cemetery Road. Investigators say a failed chimney flue caused the fire. Damages are estimated at $125,000. Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, took the witness stand today in the trial of the man charged with breaking into his home and attacking him. Pelosi recounted the night in October 2022 when the shocking intrusion happened, saying that David DePape broke in and asked where Nancy was before allegedly beating Pelosi over the head with a hammer. DePape pleaded not guilty to attempting kidnapping of a federal official, attempted murder, and assault with a deadly weapon, among other counts. If convicted, he faces life in prison. The Secret Service agent involved with President Joe Biden's granddaughter fired a weapon during an attempted car break-in. Naomi Biden's detail encountered possibly 3 people breaking a window on an unoccupied government vehicle Sunday night. The Secret Service says no one was struck. Both the Secret Service and D.C. police are investigating this incident. We have a lot more ahead on Coast TV News at 11. Stormwater Safeguard, Rehoboth's plan to tackle stormwater and flooding issues, how it could impact people's lives.
Stay warm as temperatures tumble overnight, and I'll have the latest on when the winds and the temps will begin to shift.
But first, this old theater in Millsboro has its doors shut for now. Why some say its reopening could strengthen the community. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Burton at the Beach. We're discounting Buick SUVs all month long, like $52.50 off a new Buick Envision. Or how about $199 a month for a new Buick Encore GX all-wheel drive? Nobody beats a Burton deal on Buick SUVs. Nobody.
Nikki, what if I told you you could have new kitchen cabinets in the color you want before Christmas? Would you do it?
Yeah, my kitchen needs a refresh, but I have gifts to buy.
How about if you pay nothing for a year?
Now we're talking.
Plus, there's no messy tear out because Paul Davis can change the look of your cabinets with 5 layers of hardwood veneer in as little as 3 days with a lifetime warranty. Right now, we can install 10 more kitchens before Christmas. Plus, get $1,500 off and no payments for a year. Call Paul Davis to get your kitchen started today.
Burton at the Beach. Drive home in a new GMC Sierra 4-wheel drive for only $399 a month. Or check this out. Get a new GMC Terrain for only $259 a month. Nobody beats a Burton deal on GMC. Nobody.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
An old theater in downtown Millsboro, originally called the Ball Theater and now called the Millstone Theater, is looking to make a comeback. According to the owner of the theater, Eric Clark, it hosted small productions for years before being shut down in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. While the theater is currently closed, people in town say they hope that's not the case for much longer. Clark says he is working to reopen it. Many in town, like Marcia Childress, want to see the theater make a comeback.
There's just nothing more cooperative and community building than a theater in town.
Clark says he's currently working to iron out a revitalization plan, but he doesn't have an expected date yet as to when the theater may reopen. A stormwater utility implementation plan was approved by Rehoboth Beach commissioners this spring. The plan would fix drainage systems, remove debris from waterways, and more, but the city says it had to put the project on hold because it was too expensive. While the city says many locals have expressed concerns about water pollution and quality, proper storm drainage systems are important because the systems drain out into the ocean and local lakes like Lake Gerard and Silver Lake.
We love our lakes, right? We love our ocean water quality. So it's important for us as a city to make sure that they're all clean so that people that come to Rehoboth or live in Rehoboth, can use them safely.
The Director of Public Works says if the project gets its budget approved, they expect the new plan to be in effect in early 2025. And with effective stormwater management, the city says that there are a variety of benefits that can improve the water quality, including reduced pollutants in surface water, reduced flooding risk, increased protection for people and property, as well as increased protection for wildlife habitats. If you need to renew your passport or get a new one, you're in luck. Processing times for passports have dropped again, with the State Department getting through them a week faster than last month and 3 weeks faster than during the summer. According to the State Department, passports are now taking 7 to 10 weeks to process for routine service and 3 to 5 weeks for expedited.
We've been dealing with a very chilly morning, and then we thawed out fairly decent by the afternoon, and now we're back to being chilly again. I mean, take a look at where we are from just 24 hours ago. We're only about 1 degree difference for us in Georgetown and in Salisbury. It's been definitely chilly this morning. We started off at 28 degrees this morning in Georgetown, but not just there. We were 28 degrees in Salisbury, Cambridge, as well as Easton, and we started right at freezing in Ocean City. So everybody was in on the winter-like feel for this morning. Currently, though, as you take a look at our live radar, you'll notice that we're not seeing any precipitation forming right now, nor do we have any cloud cover to be concerned with. Generally speaking, we're going to be awaiting the arrival of a cold front and a trough. The trough here is in black, and the cold front here, right here, is obviously in blue. Now, both of those are going to slowly make its way towards us and bring with it different kinds of action. The trough, mainly a little bit of cloud cover. The cold front, possibly the rain, but a definite dip in the temperatures, particularly as colder air much farther away will begin to make its way towards us. Generally speaking, we're holding pretty nicely right now, although we are slipping into the 30s quickly. I mean, we're at 34 degrees right now in Georgetown, Redden, and in Milton, as well as Del Mar. We're at 35 degrees right now in Salisbury, 36 in Greenwood and Seaford. Our evening checklist goes like this. You need long sleeves, you'll need a hat if you're going to be out for an extended period of time, and a warm beverage. Well, now that wouldn't hurt. That would be just nice in general. Our lows for tonight, into the 30s where we're going to end up. So we're not necessarily surprised by it falling into the 30s, but especially with light winds and mostly clear skies. Kind of par for the course for us for the most part. Updated model run is indicating instead of looking at 39 degrees, we're dropping it to 37, okay? Tomato, 39, 37. Still cold nonetheless. If you're still trying to get some great fall pictures, this is the week to do it because we're in peak season right now. With all this cold, it's going to make and allow for the leaves to turn colors even quicker. So keep that in mind in case you're in that, creative tours kind of feel. So we have temperatures in the 30s, 50s for the afternoon and sunshine. Wednesday, we start off in the upper 30s, just a skosh better, and then we end up with cloud cover after that. So we're going to be a little warm. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Now, I always love to wait on the chimes there. A couple of things I want to point out to you. First of all, Tuesday, Wednesday, pretty much a repeat of each other. But then Thursday, we really get warmer. Friday, we get really warm, but then we also trade off some scattered showers. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a thunderstorm just briefly on Friday afternoon, but it's only going to last about, 15 minutes tops. Mallory?
Paul, thank you. Discussions in Dewey Beach. What's next on the town's agenda? Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 11. But first, a new canine joins the Maryland State Fire Marshal's office. What duties lie ahead for this four-legged partner?
Save big this season with Horizon's Fall Into Savings event. Up to 20% off new installs and $1,500 back on eligible systems, plus free same-day estimates and flexible financing. Hurry, this deal won't last. Visit horizonservices.com.
You never met us, but you knew we might need some help during the holidays. And for you, that was enough.
You gifted us a Food Lion Feeds holiday box so we could have just a few moments together to enjoy a home-cooked meal.
And when we can, we promise to pay it forward.
Meet with us.
But for today, we'll give you our thanks.
With Food Lion Feeds holiday boxes, together we're filling tables and hearts with hope.
Life is a commitment, a beautiful journey that teaches us all that just when you think you've got it made, you've got another thing coming. To which we say, bring it on. You've got a heart that needs a hand, We've got hands committed to saving hundreds of hearts each year. You want your life back? We've got your back. And your hips. And your knees. You're facing a monster? We've got heroes. Life gets off to a rough start? We've got this. And this. And this. You have fear? We have hope. You're facing a storm? Hey, storm, is that all you got? Because we've got more. More ways to help. More ways to provide hope. More ways to prove our commitment to you. And that commitment, well, it runs deep.
Get your home ready for those cooler nights ahead with Horizon's Fall Into Savings Tune-Up event. Stay cozy and keep your home safe by booking a professional heater tune-up now for only $59. Don't wait. Visit horizonservices.com.
New at 11, meet K9 Blondie. The Maryland State Fire Marshal says the 4-year-old graduated from training last week. After an intensive 12-week certification program, the agency says Blondie is trained to detect a variety of ignitable liquids that could be used to accelerate a fire. Up next for discussion in Dewey Beach, there are a couple of meetings to pay attention to this week. The Budget and Finance Committee meets tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. It could vote to make recommendations to Town Council on parking regulations, new revenue streams, and town expenses. The Town Council meets Friday at 6:30 p.m. Commissioners will consider the minimum allowable distance between driveways and intersections, a proposal for flood mitigation project on Reed Avenue, and more. Donald Trump's lawyers started calling witnesses of their own today in the New York civil fraud trial that threatens the former president's real estate empire. First up, Donald Trump Jr. NBC's Lisa Rubin shows us how he returned to the witness stand for the second time in 2 weeks.
It was History Day here at the New York Attorney General's civil fraud trial against Donald Trump, his adult sons, and others. And the vehicle for that history was his eldest child, Donald Trump Jr., who took the court through a chronological history of the Trump Organization, beginning with his father's first development in Manhattan, a Grand Hyatt hotel adjacent to Grand Central Station, and continuing all the way through other properties, including those that are at the heart of this case, such as 40 Wall Street, Trump Tower, and even the Seven Springs estate in Westchester that his brother Eric was principally responsible for developing. Whether or not that historical tour has anything to do with the key claims in this case that Trump and his sons and others committed a years-long fraud against the people of New York by obtaining loans and insurance proceeds that they wouldn't otherwise have been entitled to is up for debate. But for now, New York Supreme Court Judge Arthur Engoron allowed the testimony, and we were all captivated. Back to you.
The holiday season is here. It's a time for joy, but for many in our community, it can bring stress. That's where Draper Media's Bless Our Children campaign can help, but we need your support to make it happen.
It's this time of year when we want to see our children's faces light up with joy this season of giving.
But for many families on Delmarva, that's tough to do. That's why Draper Media's Bless Our Children campaign raises money to help make the holidays brighter for local children.
All of the money you donate goes to nonprofit organizations right here on Delmarva, which assist families in need.
You can send your donation in a holiday card, and over the next few weeks, we'll read many of them on air.
Every penny you give helps kids right here on Delmarva because Draper Media covers all administrative costs.
We're also asking businesses to help bless our children by accepting Shell Brothers' challenge of donating at least $1,000. As our thank you, we'll list your business name on the Shell Brothers Honor Roll in order of amount given in increments of $1,000.
You can send a check or money order to Bless Our Children in care of Draper Media, or you can use your credit card online at blessourchildren.org.
On behalf of everyone here at Draper Media,
thank you for helping make the holidays brighter for children on Delmarva.
Bless Our Children is administered by the Draper Holdings Charitable Foundation.
Hardee's newest handcrafted recipe? Candied bacon, coated with caramelized brown sugar and a hint of pepper to add a whole new level of goodness to breakfast, lunch, dinner, or anytime. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation where we bring the showroom to you.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day. Stretch the weekend, haul, or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Right now, get a Ford F-150 with 3.9% for 60 months, plus $1,500 bonus cash, only at your local Ford dealer.
Oh, porches. Hello, aren't you the guy I see on TV, the porch protection guy?
Yeah, I would
So they're
say.
made of marine grade materials that last for years?
Yeah, I would
And
go.
they say I could use my porch all year round?
I think
And
so.
they keep the dirt, pollen, and rain and wind out?
And
And the
so-
custom made right here locally?
They are.
I got to run, but it was really nice talking to you.
Well, it was nice talking to you too.
Call or visit porchprotection.com for your free quote.
Everyone deserves a crown. The hottest new addition to the Toyota lineup. With distinct styling, the newest Toyota tech, and exhilarating performance of an all-wheel drive hybrid. With available turbocharged power. And like all Toyotas, Crown comes with a no-cost maintenance plan. Toyota, let's go places.
You asked, Hardee's listened. Welcome home, Cinnamon Raisin Biscuit. The cinnamon icing drizzle goodness is back for the holidays. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
Your daily skincare routine or lack of one may be dimming your youthful glow. In honor of National Healthy Skin Month, Mandy Gaither has the top 3 anti-aging mistakes and how to avoid them.
It's your body's largest organ, but we don't always take the best care of our skin.
They don't treat it with the same respect sometimes as they do their internal organs.
Skin not only protects your body, but keeping it healthy can also slow the aging process. The first and most important common skin mistake made is not protecting your body from the sun. Not only does exposure to UV rays cause damage that could lead to cancer, but it's also a cause of early aging. Wear and reapply a high-quality, mineral-based, broad-spectrum sunscreen even when it's cold outside, says Dr. Nicholas Sinclair with Cleveland Clinic.
I think sometimes people get into a little bit of trouble when they're out in scenarios like skiing in the winter time or doing yard work, things that they don't think about as a high sun exposure activity.
Sinclair says the next mistake is smoking. It too raises cancer risk, but can also cause premature wrinkles and facial aging by restricting blood flow, which can deprive skin of oxygen. A final mistake, not having a good skincare routine. Sinclair recommends a 3-part regimen with some sort of antioxidant, like a vitamin C serum that should be applied in the morning, a gentle cleanser, one that cleans but isn't abrasive, and finally, a retinoic acid, which should be put on at night to increase collagen and cell turnover.
It does not need to be expensive. It does not need to be fancy. There are some great brands, and it really doesn't need to be a over-the-top regimen.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Sinclair says using moisturizer is also important, especially as the temperatures drop, because the cold can dry out your skin. If you're unsure of which brand to get or have other skin concerns, you can always ask a dermatologist.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. Tonight, only one Henlopen volleyball squad could move on to the state championship. The Delmarva Sports Network's Luke Mealy takes us to the action.
The DIAA state semifinals in volleyball. It was the number 2 seed Smyrna Eagles and the number 3 seed Caesar Rodney Riders. Smyrna got out to a 10-2 lead in the opening set. But the Riders wouldn't go down easy. Ava Brown in the middle buries a kill. That made it 11-4. Then later on, Melissa Eddy, who was a talent all night for the Riders, sets it up and rips it home. The Riders went on a 10-5 run to make it 15-12. But Richardson was too good in the end. She had 3 kills in the set. The Eagles take this one 25-20. Things started to even out in set number 2. It's Eddy again smashing one of her 6 kills to lead the Riders. But Richardson would follow suit, keeping Smyrna in it. She had 12 kills in total for the Eagles. This set was tied 7 different times. We go to the 24-24 mark. And of course, the Eagles go right back to Richardson. She goes change-up instead of fastball to make it 25-24. And to finish it off, CR unable to return it after another Richardson swing. The ball trickles out of bounds at the end of it. The Eagles are feeling great. They're ahead 2-0. On to the third. Eagles took full control. Brooke Burge drops one in the middle. She had 3 kills. Smyrna up 4-3. Then Richardson says, I can do it back here too. This ace makes it 12-4 Eagles, and it's only fitting that on match point the ball finds Richardson before finding the court. Smyrna wins in straight sets and advances to the state final.
Thank you, Luke. And make sure to download the Delmarva Sports Network app and follow us on social media for highlights, scores, and stories from around the peninsula. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
It's time to take another look at our Coast TV poll. We want to know if you think Georgetown should ban marijuana. Taking a look at the screen, the majority still says 56% for allow it, 43% for ban it, and 1% for undecided. If you haven't voted yet, go to coasttvnews.com or our mobile app. Winner crowned. Still ahead on Coast TV News at 11, we show you the dogs that stole the show in Salisbury over the weekend.
Your clients would never be found if it weren't for me.
Gateway Subaru is committed to providing the best car buying experience on the shore, and now is a great time to own a new Subaru. Our team of friendly, knowledgeable professionals are here to assist you every step of the way. And with an amazing inventory of the latest Subaru models, we'll help you find the Subaru that suits your lifestyle and fits your budget. And right now, take advantage of financing rates as low as 0% on select models. Lowe's, it's what makes a Subaru a Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Farmers are superheroes, true conservationists. We are using soil health practices to help fight climate change. Soil health farmers are working today to protect tomorrow, using regenerative agriculture and climate-smart practices like no-till and cover crops to improve soil health. Healthy soils sequester carbon, improve water quality, and produce sustainable, nutrient-rich food. Soil health farmers are working today to keep Delmarva a beautiful place for generations to come.
Tomorrow on Coast Life, discover Peninsula Home Care's insights on managing diabetes. Unravel the layers of Anne Crown's novel Evergreen, a tale of romance and choices. Plus, get home safely with self-defense tips. Coast Life tomorrow at 4 on Coast TV.
Fall in love with Lewis.
Visit our unique shops and restaurants.
The Brush Factory is the area's premier destination for the unique and unusual for home, garden, and you. Come support our 60-plus local merchants and artists.
Indulge in the flavors of the season. Fresh seafood, local produce, and aged prime Angus beef. Harvest Tide Restaurant, over the bridge in Lewis.
Cape May Lewis Ferry is sailing daily year-round and is ready to welcome you aboard. Gift cards and departure schedules available online at cmlf.com.
Lots to do and see.
In Lewis.
Get live radar and severe weather alerts. Download the free Coast TV First Alert weather app. Brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Salisbury went to the dogs this weekend. This wire fox terrier won Best in Show at the Eastern Shore Classic. Hundreds of dogs competed, judged on temperament, features, and breed standards. The National Dog Show airs right here on Coast TV on Thanksgiving Day.
And we will all be watching with bated breath and watchful eyes. All right, take a look at our umbrella winner for tonight, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. It's Rosemarie Pamia from Selbyville. Congratulations to you. Now, before we get to our extended, keep in mind, we're staying very clear for tonight, so it's going to stay a bit on the cool side. Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Tuesday and Wednesday pretty much are mirror one another, 56, 57, pretty close. Thursday is when we start really warming up nicely, 66, then up to 69 on Friday, but that's also when the rain will step in. It's a bit of a nor'easter kind of a setup so far, what it looks like early on, so we'll keep a close eye on that. It's a possibility of a problem, but other than that, we'll cool off after the weekend.
Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.